It's really got to be drilled.
He's got him on his back.
We talked about a little anyway.
Lightning fast.
All right, in this video, we're just going to take a look at how Austin O'Connor rides his ankle hook and head lever. It's pretty similar to a lot of the guys that are doing this type of ride. There's one exception, and we'll take a look at it at the end of this video. Like I said, a lot of this stuff's pretty similar to what Spencer Lee and Real Woods and Nick Lee and a lot of those guys do. In this clip, he's transitioning back and forth between head lever and chop. So, see him elbow push, drop his head, kind of looking for head lever. Guy drops to his elbow, then rotates back up. Now drops to his elbow again, makes head lever basically impossible. So instead, he's just going to come over top and look for a traditional chop. This clip will look at a couple things. The first one being when the guy slips his ankle hook. So here he's got ankle hook, and then we're going to see the opponent go to slip it out. And then when he does, go straight into his chop. It's a really good option for when a guy slips your ankle hook, as long as you can catch it fast enough. I think in a perfect world, when they go to slip, you would pinch your knees together on their leg and then chop. But here, and Austin O'Connor is obviously super strong. So when the guy slips it all the way out, sinks his deep tight waist in, and then just continues to drive over this post, making for an easy breakdown. The next thing we're gonna look at here is a lot of times when the guy inside rotates, so meaning when he rotates up off his inside knee, not O'Connor, but the guy on bottom. We'll see him rotate off his inside knee. One thing O'Connor's doing is blocking his arm forward. This helps extend the opponent's body. Further away he can get his arm from his leg, the more extended he's going to be. Stops him from kind of sealing O'Connor out on that side. And then what O'Connor does with his leg, typically outside hooks. So with his outside leg, hooks in and kind of uses his hip pressure to extend this leg out a little bit. And then what happens when guys go to clear this, which we'll see here. So as it starts to come over top, it's just going to fall right into his normal ankle hook. So it slips out, and we see O'Connor windshield wipe his back foot underneath to catch it as it goes out. Right there. Windshield wipes underneath. And then he's back into his kind of ride position again, seeing this elbow push to extend. And then he'll look for head lever and chop options as well. So we've already kind of seen the chop options here. Just a simple head lever breakdown, right? So goes elbow push and then drops his head in, attacks the wrist. Pretty standard on head lever. Drives the guy as he pulls the arm back. Pretty standard for the type of head lever ride he's doing. Here we're going to see a couple other places that he likes to go. Kind of crossface-ish. Far side power half. More crossface type motions. And then he'll drop back into his near side options. Elbow push, head lever. So all those things, he's attacking kind of both sides of the body. And again, he doesn't really turn a ton out of here, but it's definitely hard to get away. So if you like crossface cradles, great options with that. So we'll see. And then far side power half, if you watched AJ's shop, he does some of this stuff. Into near side cradles, I think O'Connor just does it to attack both sides, be able to attack both sides of the body on his ride and keep the guy down for longer, making them adjust to his motions as opposed to him adjusting to theirs. And then a lot of times with this crossface, we see this near side arm get out to the side and extended, gets out extended away from his body, makes dropping into his head lever super easy. Here we're going to take a look at some of his kind of mat return options, which is very important if you plan on riding somebody. If they get up, you need to be able to return them. This is like the most basic variation of this kind of ankle hook knee pinch mat return. So we see O'Connor kind of slide in, both knees are going to pinch around the guy's leg. Once they pinch, the guy can no longer move that leg, and he's just going to pull him kind of to the side and forward, and then slip right into his ankle hook. You see Penn State do this a lot as well. They're really good at it. And then he's into his head lever options. Same idea here. This time his opponent gets a little more height, and he outside hooks and then knee pinches to get him back down. So guy steps up. We're going to see outside leg wraps around, and then once it's in there, back knee swings in hard and then collapses down on the leg. Knee pinches together. All right, so that when the opponent tries to swing their foot out in a way, it kind of leaves his whole side without a post, and then you can pull him back down toward the mat. Same kind of idea here from quad pod. Guy slips his first outside hook, just goes right back to it. So we see him with this outside hook, and guy's gonna slip his knee through. Doesn't really phase him. Almost gets his ankle ride. Steps right back around and in front. Blocks, collapses down, knees pinched together, and taking him toward that hip. And then right into his ankle ride. Very similar to that last clip. Inside rotate, outside hook, knee pinch, mat return. We see the guy start to inside rotate, wraps his outside foot in, back knee comes forward to knee pinch. I mean, he's all the way down at the ankle here, but all you gotta do is stop him from getting that foot out, and you got a good way to mat return. Same kind of ideas here. On this first knee pinch mat return, we're gonna see him kind of use his head lever along with it. So same kind of knee pinch, drops his head in, takes the mat, make sure to hook his foot when he tries to roll. That way you can trap him. And then one more mat return here. It's always a good idea to have some sort of lift return just in case. So here we see him starting to get that foot in front. There he wraps, collapses, that starts to come back up, and just attacks the wrist, same kind of head lever motion, knees still pinched. It's really hard to move a direction that you don't have a post in. And then of course, the standard hands locked, kind of step around lift, hip pop, put him back down on the mat. Okay, so here's where things start to get specific to O'Connor. He doesn't mind being in a seatbelt or underhook. All right, we see this is a specific type of mat return he's gonna do. So he often will keep his head low, and then partner or his opponent will swim over to that overhook position, and then O'Connor's in a spot where he really likes to be, which is with the seatbelt, hand all the way around the guy's back, gripping that far hip, and he's just gonna lift and pop through the guy for a mat return, and then guess what? Right back into his ankle ride, an elbow push position, and back to keeping him on the mat. So here's the kind of the adjustment that O'Connor has made on his head lever for his own type of wrestling, which is to drop his head low and almost bait the guy to swim over to that overhook. All right, so he keeps his head low on this side, which tempts the guy to swim their inside arm over top, which gives him his seatbelt position, and he's got a really good whip over, goes over the head, hand on far hip. He doesn't get this one, but this is a position where he probably turns the most often. Here we're going to see one that's just such a blatant bait into his whip over that it's kind of ridiculous. Alright, so I mean, he's not even thinking about head lever. His head's all the way under the guy's armpit, and what he wants to happen is exactly what happens. The guy swims his hand over. As soon as it comes over, hand comes up and over the guy's head for his whip over position. His shoulder is armpit deep on the guy. This is a tough spot to be in.